Telso villagers tells with a tense energy and exchange angry glances, their whispers carrying the weight of accusation. Evil child, cries a venomous voice from the crowd. You murdered your mother and sibling and want to bring curses upon us all. Leave Telson village at once. The ash words cut through the air like a sharp blade. Young Daisy, no more than 10 years old, was chased by the ruthless crowd. She fled in terror, her heart pounding in her chest. Tears streamed down her death-stained cheeks as she stumbled and nearly collapsed. But still, she pressed on, driven by a primal instinct to survive. Finally, with nowhere left to run, Daisy ran to the deep forbidden forest, and it is said that anyone who goes in never survives. The villagers returned to their hut as they saw Daisy enter the forbidden forest, their faces with satisfaction, with the accusations still echoing in the village. The forest awakens with a soft rustle of leaves, a symphony of life that pulses through its ancient veins. Sunlight filters through the emerald canopy above, casting a kaleidoscope of shadows upon the moss-covered floor. Shafts of golden light dance amidst the swaying branches, illuminating the hidden wonders that lie within. Hidden from the prying eyes of the village, Daisy, who has been cast out from the only home she has ever known, and forced to flee the village that once nurtured her, has found solace amidst the whispering trees and gentle murmurs of the forest. Here, she is free from the harsh judgment of those who could not see beyond the surface, free to forge her own path in a world that seeks to confine her. Amidst the solitude of the forest, she finds a strength she never knew she possessed, a resilience that carries her through even the darkest of nights. With practiced hands, Daisy gathers herbs and vegetables from the forest floor, their vibrant colors a testament to the abundance of life that surrounds her. Though her clothes are worn and her face bears the marks of hardship, there is a resilience in her spirit that refuses to be extinguished as she carries the herbs. Daisy arranges the vegetables carefully in a pot suspended over the fire, the flames dancing beneath its sturdy frame. As the savory aroma of her cooking fills the air, the girl's thought drifts to the village she once called home, but shook it off and continued with her cooking joyfully. In the golden light of early morning, the Prince of Telson, radiant in fine attire befitting his us, sneaked through the forest to confirm the village tale about the forest, which is tagged evil. With each step, the prince's resolve strengthens, his determination to prove himself in the eyes of his people, burning like a beacon within his breast. In the depth of the forest, where shadows dance amidst the tangled undergrowth, the prince finds himself ensnared in a web of danger and despair as he tries to urinate a venomous serpent. Its scales glistening with malice, strikes with deadly precision, its lungs sinking deep into the prince's flesh. Agony and confusion plague the prince as he lies on the ground. But just when all hope seems lost, a figure emerges from the shadows. It was Daisy, with eyes as bright as stars and a spirit as fierce as the flames of a raging fire. With a courage born of compassion, she rushes to the prince's side, her hand steady as she tends to his wounds with gentle precision. After Daisy's immediate medical attention to the prince's wound, the prince slept off and awoke early the next morning feeling better and returned to the palace immediately. Afterwards, the prince continued visiting Daisy in the forest. Both drew very close and fell in love. A hunter saw Daisy and the prince in the forest. The rumor of the prince's illicit affair with Daisy, known as a witch, a murderer, was heard by the king. The palace air hangs heavy with tension as the king forbids the prince from returning and told the prince to forsake the love that cannot be. The prince wept as the voice of the king warning echoes in his ears. It is the love that defies the ancient law of our kingdom and threatens to unravel the delicate fabric of our village. Your duty to the kingdom outweigh the desires of your heart. The prince went to the forest to confront Daisy. With trembling hands, the prince reached out to her, his voice a mixture of anger and anguish, as he demanded answers to the question that plagued his mind. Why did you not tell me of your sibling and mother's death, which led to an exile? You only told me you are an orphan. But Daisy narrated a painful past, informing the prince that her sibling and mother were poisoned by her stepmother in order to take the land and properties left behind by Daisy's father after his demise. The stepmother bribed the traditional priest of the village, who accused Daisy in the village square as a witch who murdered her sibling and mother. The prince stormed off and promised to reveal the truth. The prince consulted the Christian missionaries, who are known for their prominent work through the help of the Lord Jesus Christ in subduing evil traditional priests and their gods. The missionaries' prayers subdued Daisy's stepmother, who was still alive. She confessed to her evil action implicating the traditional priest. She and the traditional priest were dragged to the palace. The king's expression shifts from disbelief to dismay. With a heavy heart, the king reversed Daisy's exile. She moved to the palace, and the king instructed for the wedding ceremony between the prince and Daisy to take place in 2 days. On the day of the ceremony, the palace was adorned with white flowers and ribbons of silk. The prince and Daisy stood side by side, their hands clasped together in a gesture of unity and devotion as the wedding commenced. In a secluded corner of the grand hall, away from the bustle of the wedding celebration, the bride finds herself in a quiet conversation with her new mother-in-law, the queen, sharing hopes and dreams of the future. With a jubilant cry, the gathered guests raised their voices and song and laughter, their cheers echoing through the forest as they celebrate the love that has brought them all together. As the night wears on, the prince and his bride take to the dance floor, their movement graceful and fluid as they twirl beneath the stars, lost in the magic of the movement. And as they gaze into each other's eyes, surrounded by the warmth and love of their friends and family, they know that their journey is just beginning. A journey filled with laughter, tears, challenges, triumphs, but above all, a journey filled with love. Thank you for watching.